California is experiencing some of the worst winds we've had in almost a decade, since like 2011, so a little over a decade actually. We have two different articles we're going to go through, some videos and stuff like that. If you are in California, I would definitely be sure to watch this video. A lot of stuff you might need to know about, especially in the LA area, like I am. So before we get into that, please subscribe to the channel, check out my other videos. I make news content every day, breaking down the news, giving my commentary, giving my thoughts and opinions and stuff like that. But with that said, let's go ahead and jump into the story from NBC. So life-threatening windstorm fans fires in Southern California as blazes burn in Los Angeles. So let's jump into here. So millions of people across Southern California are under a red flag warning as a dangerous windstorm fanned blazes in the Los Angeles area, including the Palisades fire, which has triggered evacuations and burned hundreds of acres. So I saw reporting on X that it's last I checked, that was like an hour ago, was up to 800 acres. So a particularly dangerous situation red flag warning has been issued for 19 million people in the region, including metropolitan Los Angeles. That class of warning is issued in rare situations when long-lived, strong and violent tornadoes are possible. So the winds that California are experiencing right now are tornado-like winds almost. We don't get tornadoes or hurricanes here because of the large mountains, but the winds we're experiencing right now are not typical. The last time it was issued was during the Franklin fire, which burned over 4,000 acres in Malibu last month. Follow along for live coverage. On Tuesday morning, the Palisades fire ignited in Los Angeles, southeast of Palisades Drive, according to California Department of Forestry and Fire Protection. It has already burned 200 acres as of Tuesday afternoon, and its cause is under investigation. So we don't know what caused the fire as of right now, but with the high winds and stuff like that, it could have been a lot of different things. I'm not going to play that video. I have other, well, actually, I don't have this video, so let's play this. So this looks like the beach in LA. You can see it's just absolutely clouded in smoke right now. You can see some fire burning in the distance. Nothing too crazy in that video. I have some better videos I can show. The city of Los Angeles issued an evacuation order for the Palisades area. The National Weather Service issued a critical fire risk alert for parts of Los Angeles and Ventura counties. With the storm beginning Tuesday afternoon and peaking early Wednesday, winds will be above 60 miles per hour and gusts could reach 80 and 100 miles per hour. That you know, it gets pretty windy where I'm at, but this is the most windy I've seen it in a very long time. Like things are just blowing all over the yard. I went to the grocery store earlier. Things are just blowing across the street, massive tumbleweeds flying around. Warm and dry Santa Ana winds and very low humidity have created the perfect conditions for spreading fire, triggering repeated red flag fire warnings, and authorities are taking no chances. California Governor Gavin Newsom said Monday he would preemptively mobilize state resources to tackle the storm, including assigning 65 fire engines, 7 water tenders, 7 helicopters, and 109 specialized workers. We are no strangers to wintertime wildfire threats, so I ask all Californians to pay attention to local authorities and be prepared to evacuate if told to go. So that's about it for this article, and then we have this. So wind whipped fire in LA prompts evacuation in the Pacific Palisades. So this is now reporting that it's at least 1,200 acres. This was at least from a couple hours ago, so it's just getting worse by the hour. So it's 4:13. I'm recording this an hour from then. So in the span of 2 hours, it's grown more than 400 acres. So who knows how bad this is going to get. The worst of the wind is yet to come. A fast-moving fire has forced more than 30,000 residents to evacuate from the Pacific Palisades area of Los Angeles amid life-threatening and destructive winds. If you don't know where that is, it's kind of like the northeastern part of LA, but this is in Southern California, so don't want to confuse you guys there. So in just hours, the blaze grew more than 1,200 acres, according to the California Department of Forestry and Fire Protection, CAL FIRE. It has been fueled by a combination of dry conditions and powerful winds, which are likely to strengthen further overnight. Gusts up to 100 miles per hour are expected in the windiest spots. Kelsey Trainer, an attorney who lives in Pacific Palisades, said she fled her neighborhood around 11:30 a.m. only to get stuck in a bumper-to-bumper traffic on Palisades Drive. It was all smoke around us, fire everywhere. People are just honking their horns, Trainer said. She felt stuck with flames on both sides of the only road out, gridlock, nowhere to go. Trainer briefly left her car to offer help and a mask to an elderly woman who was having difficulty breathing. Ash was pelting her face, driven by intense winds. She said, trainer said it took more than an hour to get to safety. What's really scary is that it felt really unsafe for people who were doing what they're supposed to be doing, noting she had a stockpile of supplies in a fire bag packed and left before her phone chimed with an emergency alert. It felt really helpless. So here's a picture of, I'm assuming the Palisades Drive, a plume of smoke seen as a brush fire burns Pacific Palisades, California. So more than 10,300 households and 13,200 structures were threatened by the fire on Tuesday afternoon. We feel very blessed at this moment that there's no injuries that are reported, but added that they had received reports of multiple structures damaged. Flames could be seen popping up from condo buildings near Sunset Boulevard and from hillside homes. Mallory Sobel, who lived in the Pacific Palisades Highlands neighborhood, said it took her 2.5 hours to drive out of the neighborhood, which where homes were shadowed by plumes of thick smoke. I can feel it in my lungs right now. My throat is sore. My car was full of soot as I was making this slow climb down. I wore a mask because it was that potent. Which I do recommend if you are in an area where there's an abnormal amount of smoke. I do not advocate for wearing masks, but in this situation, I would say wear a mask. It will protect some of the ash from getting into your lungs. I definitely recommend you put on a mask if you're in one of these fire threatened areas. Good Samaritans are everywhere on the street, helping people navigate down the hills and helping people with their cars, she said. About 30 vehicles had to be abandoned, will be cleared by dozers to improve access, according to the fire department. I have a video of those cars being dozed. So they had to bulldoze some cars that were abandoned on the highway because they couldn't get out quick enough. Flames were also a threat to the communities that dot the canyons west of the Pacific Palisades, including those in Rustic Canyon, Topanga Canyon. Be prepared for evacuation orders to come through. Eric Scott, a public information officer with the LA Fire Department, said in a video on X addressing residents. Scott added that the fire was rapidly spreading due to the significant winds. Yeah, we do not get winds like this normally. We get really bad fires often, but it's not usually coupled with 100-mile-per-hour gust of wind. So this is definitely a serious situation here. So Margaret Stewart, another LFAD public information officer, said over 250 firefighters were responding to the blaze. The fire was moving generally toward the west, she added. The firefighters were also concerned about swirling fires and spot fires in the canyons that could send embers in any direction. So with the high winds and stuff like that, the ash and the embers could be carried very far distances, and we could see fires start sprouting up in other areas. So this is very serious. Hopefully they can get it under control, but with the high winds and the wind is only going to get worse later tonight, hopefully they can get it under control soon. They can carry up to a mile, talking about the embers. So conditions in Southern California were primed for a fast-moving wildfire. Los Angeles has not received significant rainfall in months. A National Weather Service forecaster had predicted a life-threatening destructive windstorm from Tuesday afternoon through Wednesday morning. I was looking at that yesterday. I have been reading up on that, and they were warning about fires sprouting up from this. It's like the worst conditions imaginable for a fire in California. Dry conditions, super high wind, all kinds of stuff. Rich Thompson, a Weather Service meteorologist based in Oxnard, said downtown Los Angeles has received just 0.16 inches of rain since July 1st. Yeah, we get like no rain here. Thompson said the Weather Service observed the wind gust of 50 to 80 miles per hour on Tuesday and expected the danger to grow overnight. It looks like the winds will increase a little in strength later today and tonight. The Hollywood Hills, Beverly Hills area, Palos Verdes, they get Santa Ana winds, but not usually this strong. So winter wildfires in California are often driven by the Santa Ana winds, which sweep down mountains slopes to bring hot, dry air to the coastal areas. The winds typically lower humidity levels and can rapidly push any fires that start, particularly when the landscape is dry. So climate change has increased these risks to such events, said Daniel Swain. I don't care about climate change. This has nothing to do with climate change. Okay, so that's the end of the article. I don't give a fuck about climate change. So these are some of the videos, people getting stuck in traffic. You can see this is on the coast. You can see all that smoke. People don't know where to go. It's probably hard to see that video. Let me see. Can I zoom in on it? My computer's incredibly slow. There we go. That should be a little bit better. So you can see here, this is in the LA area. And then we have another video here. People trying to get out and get evacuated, law enforcement and stuff like that. We have a picture here to show you exactly where the fires are. I don't think I can zoom in really. But so this is Los Angeles, like right over here, where my cursor is. So this is directly between Los Angeles and Santa Clarita. So it's in the mountains right there near the coast. We have more stuff over here. So these are the Paradise, California conditions in the Palisades. We were in a neighborhood as it went up in flames, mass panic in the streets, and the worst of the wind will hit the Palisades tonight. So let me see if I can get the video to play. I have all my stuff up. Oops.
Come back inside.
You can see embers just flying around the dude while on camera.
Come on, guys.
See, so notice how there's no fire around that. That means that got lit by an ember. You can just see how fast the wind is. This is almost like hurricane tornado kind of winds. So absolutely terrible conditions for fires. Hopefully, like I said, they can get it under control, but with the wind, it is going to be incredibly difficult. Dozens of cars were abandoned in the middle of the road as the Palisades fire spread in Southern California. Fire crews had to bulldoze the cars out of the way to respond to the fire. So here they are showing that they literally had to clear the roadways of these cars because people had abandoned them to get out of the smoke. It is not safe to be in the smoke. What people don't realize is usually in a fire, the fire isn't what kills people. What kills people is the lack of oxygen. You don't have oxygen when there's this thick ash in the air and smoke. You get basically carbon monoxide poisoning and you die. So we saw that in the what is it? Why am I blanking? The Hawaii fires, the fires in Hawaii. A lot of people didn't just, a lot of people were burned to death, but before their bodies were burned, they actually choked on the carbon monoxide in the air. So it's incredibly dangerous to be in these conditions. That's why I was recommending wearing a mask, because you want to be able to filter that air a little bit. But if you can, leave the area. You do not want to be breathing this stuff in. It is bad for your health, and you could die if you don't get enough oxygen. So definitely not safe to be out right now in these areas. We have one more video. You can see just how bad some of this fire is. You can see condos burning up in the mountains. Just absolutely terrible. I hope they get it under control, but I don't believe they will anytime soon. Hopefully no one gets hurt and people are listening to authorities and are evacuating appropriately. As terrible as this is, people should not panic. Just listen to authorities, evacuate when necessary, and go where you're told to. The winds will die down hopefully tomorrow, but tonight is going to get really bad. So please stay safe out there. Thank you guys for tuning into the video. Subscribe to the channel for more. I'll be posting updates as they come in if there's any important updates, and I'll be talking about the news as the news comes out. Thank you guys for listening, and stay safe out there. Seriously.